Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and joining me as usual on a Monday is Jason Cameron. Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm off kind of for today, so
Nice.
that's why we're able to do this a little bit earlier, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're getting 8 hours paid today for sitting here doing a podcast. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Talk about the NBA briefly. A few stories that come to mind for me. I guess let's get into some of the stuff. Steph Curry passed Reggie Miller on the 3-point list, only chasing Ray Allen. On Saturday, Steph was able to become second all time on the 3-point list. Pretty impressive career. And Reggie Miller was very humble with it, and looks like Steph's probably going to break this record as long as he stays healthy, maybe the end of next season.
Yeah, it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see that the passing the torch and that Reggie Miller is just so gracious with the passing of said torch, which I'm sure Ray Allen will be doing the same when he passes him eventually, because that's definitely going to be a thing. And then I'm more interested on where he ends. How many threes is he going to end with by the time his career is said and done?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like 5,000? Could be. Yeah. I don't know. But it's gonna be so many threes that I believe that record's not going to be broken like anytime soon.
Yeah.
And not anytime soon. I'm not going to say ever, but it's just not going to be broken probably within our lifespan.
Yeah, might be out of reach. Yeah. He's got 2,562 threes. Reggie Miller had 2,560. Ray Allen has 2,973. So he needs 412 three-pointers to surpass him. He's averaging about 4.2 threes a game this season. At this current pace, it would take 98 more games. So projected towards the end of next season, as long as he stays healthy. And he's still got it, still playing at an elite level and getting a lot of amazing threes. James Harden is on an incredible pace and has the ability maybe to be up there as well. And we'll see if it changes now that he's in Brooklyn. But when he was in Houston, they just allowed him to go down and shoot as many threes as he wanted to and doesn't even have to pass the ball. And and so maybe in Brooklyn, he's going to get a few less chances. What have you thought so far about this experiment and the big three there in Brooklyn?
Okay, so I believe they finally won their first game, like just the other day, the big three against Miami. That was depleted. They were sorely depleted. They won against the Miami team that didn't have all their best players.
Didn't have Jimmy or Tyler Hero. Both of those guys were out.
Yeah, and then Bam Adebayo had a huge game. But at the same time, I see a very big problem with the Nets going forward. What is it? Oh, right. Defense. Some defense every once in a while, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you want to win. They don't play no defense. No. They don't like it. I don't think they're into it. They just don't want to do it. So they didn't win against the Cavs. All right. We're talking about the Cleveland Cavs. The Cleveland Cavs.
I know. I sent you that text. I said the score was 147 to 135, and Cleveland won the game. I'm like, how does that even happen?
Yeah, no. It first off, I was like, that can't be right. Look at that again. And also too, Kyrie got torched in that game. Sexton lit him up.
Oh man, did he ever? Yeah,
he lit him up, man.
I've never seen Sexton play that good in his life.
No, that's because Kyrie can't play no defense. You know, but as a whole for the Nets team, they're not playing any defense, man. And so I don't understand how they expect to make it very far in the playoffs if you can't just outscore everybody all the time. That's not going to work.
No,
you're going to need to get stops, so to speak, and they're not doing any of that. And because I don't think it interests them. So. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That's got to be tough. Many times I'm going to shake my head throughout the year when I think of Brooklyn and the the task at hand for Steve Nash, trying to get them on the right track and get them wins and get them up into a playoff position. I think it's going to age him. I think he's going to look like an old man. He's got some of the most incredible weapons that have ever been produced by man, but to get them all together, to get them play defense, to get them to understand what it takes to win basketball games, it's going to be tough.
Oh yeah, or to get them to just, I don't know, show up for games every once in a while, like Kyrie and stuff like that. That'd be great too. But I'm gonna touch on the Kyrie thing just for a brief sec.
Please.
He apparently has been dealing with some mental stuff, some depression, or whatever it is that he's going through, and that's a big deal at this point in time for all of us that are all going through this crazy weirdness of the pandemic and everything else, and being more isolated than we ever have been, and all of that. So I understand and I appreciate the fact that he's now reached out and he's gotten help. But I believe you owe it to those people that pay your paycheck, for those people that you are co-workers with, to at least say something.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like have it all on paper of exactly what's going on with you, but you got to tell them something, as opposed to what you did do, which is tell them nothing.
I think agree. Yeah.
The organization, I think your coworkers, I think these people deserve more than that.
Yeah.
He did allude to that, kind of, but I hope going forward, if he does need to take another step back and stuff, if he's still suffering, well, obviously everybody deserves to get help. Hopefully he finds the help that he needs, but please just voice it. Just say something. Nobody will have a problem if you just say that. Then it's fine. Take as much time as you need, man.
Yeah, good point. I mean, we've over the years, we've been talking a lot about mental health issues and troubles with people, but with this pandemic upon us and all the ins and outs of that, there's a lot more of us, suffering. And I'm glad we finally got to hear a little bit of the reason why he took a hiatus. But you're right. He should have let his teammates know, let the organization know. You don't have to divulge much, like you say, but it's not a really good look, and it makes a lot of teammates, I'm sure, frustrated when suddenly one of their star players is just missing and nobody knows why. We've been very critical on Kyrie, and he's kind of deserved a lot of the negative talk, but he did one amazing thing over this time when he was away. He decided to step up and he bought a house for George Floyd's family. And I got to give severe props to him. There's a lot of rich people in the world. There's a lot of people on this Black Lives Matter movement, and he's the only one that had made a move like this. And it touches me, actually, for him to go and do this. It's pretty incredible.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And and I see part of the thing that he's probably struggling with, which is, I'm of a certain celebrity status, man that's quite famous. I feel that I should be doing more. But what should I be doing? What is more for me? I think that was possibly a question that he had been struggling with.
Yeah.
That's a step in the right direction. Clearly, that's a step in the right direction. And now that he has said mentors, I believe, behind him to guide him so that he can do more and play the game that he loves, hopefully he can stay on this track. Hopefully all of this can, culminate to something beautiful at the end of the day, which is beginning to start right now.
Yeah, well said. The game has been trending towards the small man. NBA game has been trending towards guards and three-point shooters. We saw Houston decide we don't even need a big man. We don't need centers. We just need a lot of small guys. Got rid of Clint Capella. The big man has really been dominant in the last few weeks in the NBA. I want to read out some of the numbers. This was actually a tweet from Kendrick Perkins, who loves the big man and talks about them a lot. Joel Embiid had 33 points, 14 rebounds the other day. DeMarcus Cousins, 28 points, 17 boards. You mentioned Bam Adebayo, 41 points, 9 dimes. Anthony Davis, 37 in only 28 minutes. Jokic had 29 points, 22 boards, and 6 dimes. And Clint Capella had a huge game as well. Are we seeing a really big man resurgence that it looked like they might be dead forever?
Well, hopefully we do, because you know what, big men are they're still integral and they're important to the game. Because if you got a bunch of little dudes around the boards when you're getting rebounds, well, you're gonna get a lot of rebounds. None of those little dudes are gonna bother you. Yeah. You're gonna sweep away like flies, like they are. You're gonna grab that board, outlet pass, right? So this could be the year. I know there's been some talk of this, and I think there's some validity to it. This could be the year that we finally see an MVP be a big man, like a legitimate big man.
Yeah, the last guy's Shaq, and that was like 2000 or something. So long time since we've seen a big man dominate and even be in the MVP talk this far into the season. Okay, why don't we touch real brief on the Celtics, Jaylen Brown. He's actually having a massive improved player campaign. He had 33 points in only 19 minutes the other game. Jason Tatum's out with COVID-19, so he stepped up and he's really proving to be such a force. He's a guy that can guard 1 through 4, and he can score 30 points a night. He's actually the 6th highest scorer in the NBA right now at 29.3 points. Really looking like a very big superstar.
Yeah, because like he's got one of the best running mates you could ever have in Jason Tatum to play alongside, right? And then now you're seeing what happens if that guy goes down. Well, Jaylen Brown can clearly step his game up to yet another level, which is super impressive. But what's more impressive is that Jaylen Brown is a two-way player. He can guard you up and he can score. That's a rarity right now in this day and age in the NBA, where you can actually have a guy that can do both, defense and offense. I know it's a novel idea, but a lot of these guys don't do the defense part. But I think that's fantastic for Jaylen, and I think we're just going to see nothing but continued growth with him throughout the course of this season.
Is defense in the NBA going to be going the way of the big man? Is it going to go the way of the dodo bird? Is it almost done? Have they given up?
Okay, let's be honest, man. Like I'm seeing scores that I've never thought I'd see before. Like in not when it goes into overtime, but like just in the general game itself, in regulation time. Like you have games that can go up to 130, 140 points. You know what that tells me? They didn't bother playing any defense. They just went, all right. You said I'd take that 3. I'm going to do this a little bit. Okay, it's already done. So, like I would love to see, I would love to see a team go back to, you remember how the Detroit Pistons played back in the day with Ben Wallace and Rasheed, Sean Phillips, Rip Hamilton. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see like a team just say, you know what, we're just going to lock up people. But I don't know if we're ever going to see that ever again. I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing, because it seems that the players are more in tune with offense is offense and defense is whatever. And I don't think enough players put enough emphasis on the defensive part. They kind of do when playoffs start, because then all of a sudden that's kind of an important thing. They remember about it. But to see a team consistently play great D night in, night out, I don't know if we're going to see that ever again.
Yeah. Well, we've got a sports-centered generation here that lots of times defensively, you're not getting on the highlights. If you shoot threes and you get spectacular dunks, you're going to be on the highlight package night in, night out. You can be impressed. You can impress your family, your friends. They're able to see you quite often on SportsCenter. I really am sad about it, because I don't like it actually. All-star games, and we're seeing scores of 175 to 173, and it's starting to trend that way in the regular season with basketball, and it's not a good look Basketball is just so much better when there's some physicality and there's some defense. And, it's tough to score, not just go down and score every time down the floor.
Yeah, yeah, like it's great when there's actually a little bit of resistance, as opposed to like a matador, like man, you just went right down the lane, a huge dunk, and like I appreciate defense because defense can win you those games. Defense can win you championships. A great example of that was the Miami Heat and how they got past the Celtics with Adebayo doing that ridiculous block on Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
that was a ridiculous block.
Yeah.
That's defense. That's what can win you. That's what wins you games. That's what gets you these championships. I wish that more players would invest in their defense, invest in that part of the game. Because you know what? One of the greatest that ever did it, I think he was a 9-time defensive all NBA team, which was Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He invested in defense.
Sure.
So if you got a guy like that magnitude, that understood that defense is important, then I don't understand why none of these young players understand that defense is just as important.
Yeah. The Raptors have turned things around a bit, and they're playing quite well. And one of the reasons is a great defense. I saw them cause I think 21 turnovers last game. We're able to get a lot of fast breaks off those turnovers, and we're able to even though they didn't have Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam, they're able to get a big win. And they're inching towards 500 team. And looking really solid. Last game, I really loved watching them play, and they played really hard.
You knew that eventually they would come around, right? Like I actually knew that because they're too good a team. And yes, the new parts needed to mesh. Finally, it looks like that's beginning to happen because the team that they were wasn't indicative of the team that they are.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that, the wins are beginning to pile up. They're beginning to figure it out. And now we can look forward to seeing what kind of noise they can actually make in the East.
I mentioned Shaq briefly earlier. He's going to come up in this conversation again because Giannis Antetokounmpo is starting to get his free throws looking like Shaq. His percentage has diminished. He actually got called for a 10-second delay on the free throw line the other day because he was standing there so long, didn't want to shoot the free throw because he knew he wasn't going to make it. They gave him a 10-second violation. Nope, that free throw doesn't count. For the rest of the game, he's standing on the free throw line, and the Clippers were starting to count, and they were yelling out 6, 7, 8, trying to get him another 10-second violation. His numbers are ridiculous right now. He started his NBA career 76% shooter first season, 73 the next season. Last year down to 63%, and this year 59%. And he's had some horrific attempts recently. I don't know what's wrong. I think it has to be mental, but it's scary to watch.
I'm going to be honest. I've looked at some videos of his shooting form when he first came into the league and what his shooting form is now. I personally think there's something wrong with the shooting form. Okay. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. Like it doesn't look fluid. It doesn't look like a natural shooting form. It looks like it's forced. Like especially when he takes threes. Like, when you're at the foul line and when you take a three, that shooting form should be the same, right?
Yeah. Sure.
But the shooting form at the 3-point line, I've never liked, especially how it was when he first came into the league, way better than what it is now.
Yeah.
It's just better. Like it was just better. It just seemed to flow nicer and better. And I would dare say, you can see the results from his free throw percentage as he's gone on in the years. It's going down, not up. Yeah. It's got to go up, man. So I think I firmly believe that his problem is related to his shooting form, and something needs to change. Or I would say he should have gone back to how he used to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing that he could be, considered MVP of the NBA, and can't shoot threes, can't shoot free throws and looking really lost out there. Yeah, I'm amazed that Milwaukee isn't, jumping on this, getting coaches in his face and changing things and getting him better. Because yeah, it's scary. They have a lot of these tight games. Once they hit the playoffs, they're going to lose games if he's not able to shoot outside and shoot from the free throw line. They're going to just do that old hack a Shaq, hack a Giannis, and yeah, they're not going to be able to win. A lot of people thought, Milwaukee has a chance over the last few years, but with their top guy struggling this bad, I don't see it happening.
It's going to be really, really tough. And then now all of a sudden the narrative's going to change to kind of like what Shaq would say. Oh, I make him when I need to. I make him when it counts. Like that's what he's going to have to start saying. He's going to have to start saying stuff like that. I don't know. They obviously he needs more practice on his free throws. I don't know if that percentage is going to go up because, like I said, I think his shooting mechanics are not great. No. So, yeah.
Do you see the NBA being able to get all teams to that 72 game schedule? Washington had to miss 6 straight games. Memphis has missed 5 straight games now. I know they only put out the first half of the schedule, but how is it possible for them to make this up in the second half of the schedule?
I kind of thought, from what I've seen anyways, that, you have NBA games on every single day, that it was ambitious to begin with, especially within the environment that we're in. I don't know if they can. And especially because going forward, you're still going to have all these problems. You're still going to have teams missing games. And this is not due to the players' inability to follow the rules. I think that everybody's following the rules. I think it's more to the point that the country's in peril. Yeah. And that there's COVID everywhere. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's more to the point than anything else. And so with that being said, I don't know, man. If they want to make that 72 games, they might have to extend the season like by a couple of weeks, 2 to 3, maybe, if they still want to do that. But it's not looking great right now.
The NBA has sort of went on record of saying they don't want to go up against the Olympics, which is in July. They're hoping to not have to have people make a choice between watching the Olympics on TV or their games. So, maybe there is a shortened window for them there. Miami has made an announcement that they are going to start allowing fans into their arena, but they have COVID sniffing dogs throughout the arena, and they are going to be sniffing out the people that have COVID, kick them out and not let them back. I'm a little stunned at the moves that they're gonna try to employ just to get some fans in the stands.
Is that actually a thing? Did they just make that up? Because I've never even heard of that. I've never heard that dogs have the ability to sniff out COVID on a human being. Are you kidding me? What is that?
I wish I was. Yeah, it's just insane.
It sounds like something that they just made up and just like, man, this will put people at ease. We got these dogs, right? They'll smell that COVID on you coming a mile away. Dude, come on. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Crazy. I don't know, man. They've got a lot of drug sniffing dogs in Miami and around Florida, but I don't know how they figured out that they can sniff COVID on you, but man, it's crazy. Miami, Florida is a crazy place, and I don't even know why they're thinking of allowing fans in the stands yet until they get this under control, but it'll be kind of wild seeing the videos of these dogs sniffing all the people as they're coming into the stadium.
And also too, like, here's another thing. Yes, that they're having the fans, they have a buffer zone, right, between the players and the fans and stuff like that. But if you're a guy, if the NBA is having problem with teams missing games because of COVID, and then you're letting fans into the stadium, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, if you really want to lock it down, you really want to do that, no fans. Yeah. Like, if you're trying to protect your players to the utmost and the staff and everybody, no fans. No fans, man. No fans, yeah. I understand that the owners need to make money, but they've already lost money. and they're going to continue to lose money.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anyways, that's what I need to say.
Well, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. There's been some fun action. Basketball's taken a backseat for me to NFL, but NFL taking a 1 week break off before the Super Bowl. My attention will be turned back to basketball a lot more, and UFC. Yeah, UFC was fun. Looking forward to the next coming cards, and NFL, man, Super Bowl matchup for all time history. Yeah, this was a fun podcast, man. I really enjoyed myself today.
Yes, it was always fun. We touched on a lot of topics today, and it was fantastic. It was a really, really busy sports weekend.
Yeah. Well, thanks for spending part of your day off with me, and have a great week ahead. I hope it goes really quick for you. I hope you don't have to work out in the weather. I think it's going to be a pretty lousy week weather-wise. So yeah, let's hope you're inside the studio working well. I hope you enjoyed this new show. Are you supposed to start on Wednesday or what day?
Tomorrow.
Oh, no way.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay. They're going to be able to have the results from your COVID that quick.
I have no idea about that, but I'm starting them.
Okay. I see. Okay, well, good luck. Enjoy the show. I hope it goes really well. Thanks again for doing this, and I'm sure we'll text it a little bit through the week, and yeah, I guess we'll do this again Monday.
You got it, man.
Okay,
you
buddy.
have a great one.
You too. All the best, man. Cheers. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye for now. Okay, well, thanks again, as always, everybody, for tuning in to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, we talked a lot of subjects, had a lot of laughs. Yeah, this was one of my favorite episodes of all time. Really great to hear so many of the good takes from Jason, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Man, we went a while. We're going to break this down a little bit. I think we're going to do a UFC portion, an NBA portion, and an NFL portion. So it'll be 3 podcasts coming at you in a short succession. Thanks for all your support, as always. Love you guys lots. And yeah, thank you so much for everybody that's given me support and all the people that are working behind the scenes. I want to give a shout out to my friends and family. Thank you so much. Love you lots. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.